What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host, Vernon. This is where the Hemenway fishing pier is supposed to be. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, made our way out to Hemenway. Going to do some fishing out there, but enough of the intro, let's get to fishing. Alright guys, and a big shout out to Bussy Dad Fishing. He's on some carp out there. If you want to see his fish, you have to go to his channel. Put a link down in the description for Bussy Dad Fishing. He has some good videos. Go watch some of his stuff as well. Alright, ladies and gents, we made it out to today's fishing spot. We're all the way out here at Hemenway, but rather than being at the marina, we moved out to the little island across the way. Now it's been 3 years that I've been fishing here at Lake Mead. Caught some good fish, but it seems like every year it changes. It's difficult to find the fish. Once you kind of figure out a spot, then next year water level drops and that spot no longer produces. So I thought of turning to some of the more seasoned fishermen, and I have to give credit where credit is due. I looked at one of the videos of Brens Fishing Life. I'm sure if you're a local fisherman, you know about Brens Fishing Life and you watch his videos as well. And in one of his latest videos out here at Hemenway, he actually came to a similar spot like this out here next to the little island, and he had some pretty good luck with some striper boils happening, caught quite a lot of smallmouth bass out there, and just generally made it look very easy. Now obviously Brens Fishing Life, he's been fishing in these waters for far longer than I have. He's a lot more experienced, so it's a good thing for me to learn from him as well. And after watching his video out here in this particular spot, I saw he caught some stripers, he got a few boils, as well as catching smallmouth bass, and I thought to myself, maybe it's worth it just to brave the little boats and all the waves they make, get out deeper, try and find these fish. Now in his video he mentioned something like 70 feet, and at that moment a little light went on for me. It's not the first time I've heard about 70 feet. When I went fishing with the striper hunters, Captain Don Martin, he also spoke about 70 feet worth of water, as well as a lot of the guys out on the kayaks. They normally talk about catching smallmouth bass in 70 feet worth of water. So I thought to myself, let's try and be brave. We'll go out away from the tires, get out into some deeper waters, using my little fish finder, looking for some 70 feet or something like 22 meters, looking for places where I think these fish will be. And because I'm not as skilled, I'm going to use one rod with some baits, soak some baits out there, and on the second rod I'm going to be throwing around some lures. Let's see if we get anything. Alright, so here in Lake Mead you're allowed 2 hooks per line. So I got 2 hooks here on my setup, both with anchovy heads. Reason why, there's a very big possibility of getting skunked today. I'm seeing some fish, but I don't know what type of fish it is. If I'm casting around at carp, I won't be able to get them on the anchovies. So to try and improve my chances, I'm going to use 2 pieces. All I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it down. So it's very difficult to find a spot where I'm fishing the exact same depth, but I'm going to drop it down, let it float in the water. We are drifting slowly towards the island, so we're going to do some drift fishing. Then I paddle back out, do some fishing again. Let's see if we get anything. Alright, so that's our tiny little rod, the one with the baits, baited out into the water as we drift along. We'll see if we get anything. Now you're only allowed to use 2 rods in the water at one single time, but I do have 3 rods out here with me. Simple reason being, on my second rod I'm going to be using some lures. On this one I have a little shad imitation, a little lipless crank. This is going to be if I see boils happening or something, so that I have something I can cast out to them. And also swapping to some lighter lures. This is lighter line, so I can throw light lures as well. But when I'm not using this rod, then I'll be using my bait caster, and on here I just simply have a little football jig head and a little craw imitation tail on that. I have never actually caught any fish using this, but this is one of those lures where the more you catch fish on it, the more confident you get and the more fish you can catch with it. So it's about time I start catching some fish. I know Brent caught quite a lot of smallmouth bass using something like this, so I'm going to be throwing that out there as well, see if I can get any. See if it's really that easy, just as simple as throwing the stuff out there and you will get the fish, or whether there's something more to it. Alright guys, so I've been throwing around this little football jig for quite a while. What I'm doing is I'm going to let it sink down all the way to the bottom, and I'm just going to slowly reel it in, move it along the bottom. Every once in a while give it 2 hops. I'm not ripping the rod, small movement, if you move something like the tip of your rod, you normally move your little lure on the bottom, something like a foot. So not giving it violent tugs, just a small little hop. If you watch crawls in the water, they normally jump up and then they move. That's why I'm doing a double hop type of action, as well as this slow reel in, just moving it on the rocks down there. You can feel quite a lot of rocks. Rocks is a good place for bass to be. And I'm swapping between different lures, casting them around, but so far no fish. I've seen quite a lot of fish jump in the area, but I've not had any major interest in my lures. But still, a lot of time left, so let's keep at it. Alright, I've now had a couple of drifts throughout this entire cove. Found a couple of spots where you have some nice open spots where the fish finder is showing some fish in between patches of grass. Everywhere you have a little opening of rocks, it seems there are some fish. But after an hour and a half about of floating around, casting about, no bites so far. I'm starting to think that maybe it's not just as simple as getting out there and casting around. There's more to it. You have to know what you're looking for. And that's something that a lot of people on YouTube tend to forget. Once you know and you figure it out, it's easy. And you make it look easy. But fishing isn't actually that easy if you have no idea what you're doing. We know these baits and lures work. We know the fish are here. It's just all about finding them and figuring out where they are and how to get them. I have also been throwing around little shad imitations everywhere I see fish jumping, hoping that maybe it will be some stripers. Now of course this is a straight retrieve, but what I'm doing is I'm letting it sinking down a bit because I'm in deeper water than I'm normally fishing. I'm giving my lures a lot more time to sink down. And there we go, first fish for today landed. It's been something like 2 hours and we finally got something. This is on some anchovies, quite a lot of head shakes, so probably we have little catfish again. Not the fish that I was looking for today, but we'll take catfish over getting skunked any day. This guy is splashing quite a lot. Did he get you guys? Let's see if we can quickly get him on the lip grips. There we go, we got him on the lip grips. I just still need to take out the hook, but we're going to give him some oxygen first. Especially in summer, it's important to have this fish in the water as long as possible. We don't want these fish to get tired out, stop breathing and die. So in the water for as long as possible. Let's quickly get the hook out. Alright, so even out here in something like 16 meters, it's going to be 40 something feet worth of water. We get a catfish. This one is a bit smaller than the one I got at Upper Government Wash, but a decent catfish to get us started for the day. Lovely spots on him. Let's just turn him towards the sunlight so you can see the colors on him. Lovely golden colors with those lovely spots. Decent catfish. Alright, but at least we got a fish. We're not going to get skunked today. Lovely little catfish. Let's let him go. And Off he goes. So I found a little area that shows quite a lot of fish, but I've been fishing here with all sorts of lures and baits and haven't got any hits nor any follows. So I don't know, all these fish, if they're shad or maybe some carp or something, but I'm not getting any fish, so I think it's about time we move around again. Alright, so I don't know how much of it is luck, but it's now been hours. We only got that one little fish. Been throwing around quite an assortment of lures, especially focusing on places where you have these points going in, looking for the deeper spots where that drops off. But I'm not getting any fish out there. But it is already midday. We have our little steamboat thing that just went out. That's how I know it's midday. So I'm thinking of maybe making my way back towards the tires, see if we get any fish near the tires, and then maybe heading back to where I launched from so we can get back to the car. So it's taken me an hour and I've not even reached the tires yet. I keep finding spots with fish, seeing fish jump. So of course I'm casting and soaking some baits, but still not getting any fish. So I think I'm gonna finally move over to the tires, do some fishing around there, and then maybe call it for today. Alright guys, so it's fun sitting around in the water, but even here I'm getting tiny little hits. Looks like little small 2-inch to 3-inch little stripers busy pecking at my baits. So no big major action, and as much fun as it is being out here, quite a lot of boat traffic in this area, quite a lot of waves. So I'm not thinking we're going to catch any major big fish further, so rather going to pack up. Alright guys, I wish I could tell you that it's just that simple. You get out there, you throw around some baits or lures, and you get on fish. But sadly it's fishing, it's not that simple. Yes, you might get lucky and get on some fish, but it does take years of practice to figure out where the fish are, what they want, how to work the lures, and get on fish. Now luckily we didn't get skunked today, we got that one big channel catfish, but I was hoping for a little bit more bass action. Didn't happen for me out there today. I don't want to sound like an old man or something, but arms are sore, buttocks are sore. Yes, I've been sitting the entire time, but this is the first time that I went that far out trying to find fish. It's never going to be just instant action. It's going to take a couple of practice sessions before you figure out where the fish are and how to get them. But still, I had fun. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, do give me a little thumbs up. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. And if you've not subscribed to the channel yet, consider doing so, hitting the big red subscribe button. You can also hit the little bell icon next to that. That will notify you when I upload videos. But still, I had fun, and I want to thank you for following me on this trip. And like always, I'll see you next time.